hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer.
Exactly. This one's a screamer. All right, folks. Let's go ahead and bring in our guests. And let's start with... And there we blow. How y'all doing?
Doing good, mate. How are you?
I'm still
aliens, but
I'm a little exhausted still from the weekend, and I have a whole nother show to do this weekend in Pueblo, and then next weekend in up here. But I'm good. That's why I do these things, is to do all these shows. Yes, but I will be doing a lot of fun things down there in Pueblo, and I'll share with everybody just like I did last weekend. So let's go ahead and do some intros and say hello to the side of my chest, then get into the insanity that I have planned for us, because it is a long documentary. A shitty is probably what I should say it, because it does not make any sense or anything, and we're just going to be taking the piss out of it the whole goddamn time. So here we blow.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and/or hosts. They do not explicitly or necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by this channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program.
Grin, grin, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more.
It's just like Killer Cop 4, but she's got Hema instead of fry cook balls. I need you, Action Bastard! Action Bastard, I need you! Action Bastard, I need you! Why am I wasting time dancing?
You want to know why? Because the world is fucking flat, dog. And everything that you see up there, as far as like planets or stars, yeah, guess what, dude? It's fucking fake. It's just lights up there. The government put those lights up there so you dummies could just act like there's something up there.
Wait a second. Are you a flat earther?
Call a crackhead. You're stupid. Yeah. Yeah.
You dumbass! Exactly. All right, folks, here we go. And let's say hello to the side of my chest real quick, and then let's get into the idiocracy. So we have a stop the stupidity.
I stop.
We have an Ivy.
Hi, Ivy.
We have a Dave, a captive desk.
Hi, Dave.
And that's everybody as of right now. And I know normally we don't do crazy shites here, or on this day, but that's okay. Here we blow on. Hopefully more people join us in just a second, and we're going a little bit sooner than we normally go, but let's crack on.
So Slim, what are we proving the existence of today? We've done Bigfoot. We know he exists now.
So this is aliens, Atlantis, and the Illuminati all mixed into one. So let's crack on. Aliens, Atlantis, and the Illuminati. The new America, because some way, shape, or form, they're all connected together, which doesn't make any sense, but fuck it.
Aliens have been around since the dawn of time. Mankind has given them many names. Angels, ghosts, demons, and more. We look to the skies and wonder.
Your mom's vagina? Never mind. Let's crack on.
But the truth about aliens visiting planet Earth is much more profound. It is so startling and so strange that nobody has thought to look in that particular direction.
Wait. Haven't they been looking in the sky for aliens for gazillion? Never mind. Just fucking go with it. God damn it.
Our ancestors developed ways of contacting these aliens, and they called them gods. They were beings of light, shining ones, watchers. They were both good and bad, mirroring humanity.
You mean they weren't just things that were happening in the skies, like thunder, lightning, eclipses and or understanding what celestial things were doing. Not understanding what they're doing, but calculating them to do certain things. That's what.
Or maybe stuff like bipolarism and other types of mental illness were going about thousands of years ago. Schizophrenia, maybe.
Yeah,
Anything that
but
gives these people hallucinations.
But what they're talking about mainly, and yeah, sure, what they're talking about mainly though is people seeing celestial things and attaching things to them, like how we named a lot of constellations, Roman, Greek, and other gods, because they had already kind of semi-attached them to them, and we were giving them recognition to that and then stuff and things. But we knew at the time that we gave them that. And anyways, just crack on. Let's crack on.
They gave great knowledge, and after tens of thousands of years, mankind suddenly had the ability to create.
Whoa, what is he doing with that bowl? Never mind. Let's crack on.
We built.
This is all fake. This is AI generated. This is not real. Just FYI. It's not. We've already went over this thingy mabobber in the past about something and this other thing.
Huge monuments in their name, and we recorded our contact with them in.
Oh my God, they made a statue deity that was a gazillion times bigger than what normal humans are? Shut the fuck up. Nuh-uh. That's totally got to be to scale, you fucking...
Hey, Jasper.
Hey, Jasper, how are you doing? That's what I love about this. They're like, they made a thing that looks like a thing for a thing. And you're like, yeah, well, it could be a gazillion other things, dumbass. And normally we can actually attach it. Yeah, and we can normally attach it to a story, a fable, something else that does connect it to something. But the conspiracy theorists go, no, it proves there are giants that used to be here that made the temples, and and you're like, no,
what didn't just that just grow there?
Yeah, why all of a sudden
seed in the ground and the statue grows from it?
Yeah, exactly. Similarly, it's just like a plant completely. It's redonkulously silly to.
It's just an ancient Darwin, isn't it? Really.
Well, there are examples of we do have skeletons once in a blue moon in certain places of like a 7-foot tall person or a larger person that is larger than the normal people of the day, and it's only because it's a rarity that you have this disease that actually causes people to overgrow. Let's put it that way, and let's stop right there. So, is there examples of giants? Yeah, totally. Not it being very prevalent. There's not a race of 20-foot tall giants that helped build the fucking Egyptian pyramids or something. Anyways, crack. Well, and if let's just say, okay, if you go to a country to where people are just averagely smaller than you and you walk around, you're the giant technically, right? There we go. That's the easiest example of this bullshit. Is like you have somebody from somewhere else and or somebody has a genetic disease and they are just taller and bigger than other people. Blah. There we go. So let's crack on.
Fables, myths, legends.
Hey, you cannot show boobs on my channel. Why did I pause it on this?
Folklore and religion. We even create.
Hey! It's that goddamn bobbing rocks in the goddamn ocean that caused all the. I don't know what's going on. Never mind. I'll stop right there.
Grand myths such as Atlantis to explain it. They were our gods, and we worshipped them and recorded their powers, deeds, and lives. These gods of the world were in fact not real gods.
Hey, why can I look up the dress of that guy? Now I'll stop. Okay, I'm done. But anyways.
Whatever that means. They were in fact alien invaders, and we were the subjects of their rule.
Citation needed, motherfucker. Because remember, people can like think up things and write down things and propagate things that are not true. Look at how Trump got fucking put into his presidency. Everything he said was either him being so bold with his statements that people were like, he's not going to do that because they think he's joking, or he lied about the rest of the other things. Like, that's just what happens. Like, just because something's written down, just like we say, just because something's on the interwebs and or on TV doesn't make it real, you dumb cunt. Like, anybody can fake anything until you get sued for making it up being a false thing. And I really want to get past this image that I have on screen because I feel really weird about all the things I see on the screen right now, but let's crack on.
This is the true story of the aliens in the ancient world.
Here's the true story. No other place are you going to find this out except from this weird company that makes a thing from Films Now movies. Yeah, no. These are the ones that have made this and they're... Anyways, crack on.
Over 5,000 years before Christ, an amazing thing happened that would change the course of human history.
My dick.
Hidden from us by misunderstanding, mistranslation, and clouded in mythology, the birth of religion on this planet was no mere accident.
It was brought here by all the aliens because they wanted to deceive the dumb humans into thinking. And then eventually they would conceive somebody called Donald Trump. And they would get him to get into the power of the largest nation in the world. And then the Antichrist Revelations is going to start it. Yes, we're going to take it over with all the demons. I'm sorry. I'll stop right there with my insanity where I thought I was going to go with this. But it was going to be funny is if they totally go in that same direction without saying Donald Trump.
It was the result of an alien invasion on a vast scale.
On my dick.
The worship of the ancient aliens as gods. Those gods are the oldest recorded figures of worship anywhere in history.
So what you're saying is there was a god that came down and was able to turn themselves into a bull. What else was it Hercules that did that? Or Hercules' dad did that? He turned himself into a bull, fucked a lady. He turned himself into another thing and fucked a lady. Like, oh, so gods just aliens came down from other worlds, other universes, other places to turn themselves into animals to fuck women. What are we What are we talking about anymore? Why didn't they just turn themselves into human looking things and fuck the women? Why did they turn themselves? Anyways. Okay, never mind. I'm getting.
If this shoved religion up the arse and say, fuck you, it was aliens, I'd actually go with it. I'd peddle.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it was that, but now they're trying to impose that the Greek, Roman, and other gods, Tibetan, and other things, they're all deities that are made up from space aliens. So now, if you let's look at that. Let's just pretend we're going to treat this as an actual thing. Let's pretend. Let's just give me 5 seconds. Give me a minute and a half, probably. All of the deities, all of the gods. That's like 500,000, right? Because the Native Americans believe everything has a spirit. Let's just pretend we're talking about fuck it. Let's just pretend we're talking about Western culture, which is 1 to 5 deities, and then let's just go back into
33 million gods in Hinduism alone.
Well, that's what I was going to get into next. Thank you, dog, for sure. That's what I was going to get to next. Let's just say we're talking about 1 to 5 in these cultures in the Europes. Then we go to Hinduism, Buddhism, and some of the Eastern cultures. And if we get into Asian, well, you're fucking screwed. So there's a
Does
gazillion and a half
these guys
things.
all
If
have
these
names?
what?
Does these millions of gods, do they all have names?
Well, and that's what I'm. Well, hold on. Yes, they all have names, but what they're trying to say here is all of every single different deity, every single different god, every single different version of is a different species of alien. So now you're trying to tell me that gazillions of species of aliens have come to the earth and have shown themselves in the presence of these different deities and gods in different religions. Citation needed, motherfucker. That's what all I got to say. Like, I can get if they say that Jesus was an alien. I can get if you say that Buddha was an alien.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
But
he was an alien. They killed him, and then his crew from the spaceship beamed him up, brought him back alive, and they put him down again.
Yes. So, anyways, so what they're trying to say in this documentary is every single deity, entity, and or god, sub-god, and every other demi and other thing in scripture in every culture is a different type of alien species and or a representation of different versions of the alien experience coming into here to show us their influence. What do you think? Do you think that happened fucking 4,000 years ago, and then all of a sudden, 1,000 years ago, all of a sudden it disappeared? Like, do you think that why is it not happening anymore now that we have technology? But anyways, let's crack on. I just want everybody to think about that because they don't say that here, but that's what they're trying to tell you.
They are the root of all the major world religions. They gave rise to the great powers of Egypt, Mesopotamia, and more. They gave rise to the fable of Atlantis, a superior race who ruled over mankind with superior intellect.
They literally said every deity is alien.
In technology. Those people with knowledge of this created secret societies to keep the history alive. We know them today as the Illuminati.
Because that's still a thing. Because, if the Illuminati was really a thing, our channel would get taken. Our channel would get taken down. Oh, fuck! Our channel got taken. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways,
it was conspiracy back then.
No, it's only Scientology that actually is going to get a shutdown. I can't say that name ever again, and that's the forbidden name. That's the only thing. If you say, they literally will take you down. Everybody else, you can say everybody else's name, and you won't. But if you say that forbidden word I just said a second ago, or 5, you literally will get taken down. I literally got letters in the mail. I also got all these things of stop and desist and blah blah blah. But anyways, let's crack on.
But hey,
they spread out.
But we obviously know that thingy is a thing because it's out there. Tom Cruise is, I think, is still a part of it.
Isn't it typical that no one has ever heard of the Illuminati before this movie with Tom Hanks?
Yeah,
with Leonardo and stuff, and with this thing. I don't know how the movie was.
But anyways,
he talked about it, and nobody had ever heard from it, and now it's all the Illuminati.
Yeah,
probably made up for a movie.
Well, and again, he's in a certain religion that wants to take the focus off of his religion onto another religion, which is not a thing anymore. And I actually knew about this a long time ago because I had looked into a lot of weird, crazy stuff when I was younger. Everybody say hello to the demon orb. Welcome to the insanity. So here, let's crack on with this nonsensical stuff of this. And yes, we know this is not a thing, YouTube and other people's and things. This is totally and fake.
around the world and were the genesis of a special holy bloodline that remains with us today. One of their descendants would be caught, beaten, and crucified. And yet, he would rise from his grave.
There we have it.
They think that Jesus was part of the Illuminati. When did the Illuminati start? Not even anywhere close. What are we talking about, you fucking psychopaths? The Illuminati is not that ancient of a religion. And never mind. Let's just crack on because it's fucking stupid. So let's just listen to it. Because once again, we're only 4 minutes into the goddamn fucking video, and we need to get way further in. So just
unrecognizable.
All of this is obviously dumb, and we don't need to rebut very much of it because, like, it's the stupidest thing you've ever heard. So just run with it. Just like when you're sitting on a first date and you're really not interested in her, just sit there and just like listen, because you're not going to learn or not learn anything from this. Just like, please try to not take it in. But this is the stupidest thing we're going to hear today, probably today. We'll see.
And accompanied by messengers of light, he would ascend in the sky, having cast off his shrouded skin. His bloodline would give rise to the royal families of the entire world. His bloodline would be protected, defended, and would control the globe. He was a descendant of the great serpent elite, who came to this earth as beings of light to create, control, and teach mankind.
Except, is that what Jesus came to do? Not, but we'll keep going, and then we'll talk about it in a minute. Let's listen to what this idiocracy says, and then we'll stop every once in a while but I mean, most of this bullshit is bullshit. I mean, it's just literally somebody jerking off themselves, making this, and I feel like this is probably one of those AI goddamn motherfucking things, even though, like, I think it was made. It probably is definitely AI generated, but fuck it. That's what we do is we go over silly, stupid shit. And let's just give them 30 more seconds, and then we'll stop and we'll laugh and point and take the piss out of it.
He was a descendant of the great giant killer, David.
The giant killer.
A great battle that was fought between the serpent elite and the sons of Alien and Man. All of this is actually written in the historical records. They were known as giants in the land. The aliens escaped.
The giants of the lands. Okay, all right. So now let's see what else it's gonna say about what for who, and then when, and then that's what your mom said last night when I put it in. Never mind. We'll talk about that later, or she will. She'll tell you about it when my aliens escaped the. Never mind. The behind the seed. Sorry. I'll stop right there and let's just crack on.
Earth, but left behind their seed and tools of power and communication. It is prophesied that they shall return, and the signs are growing daily that they have returned and are right now dealing with their own elite bloodline. The men in
power. If that's how you want to describe that, that's totally how we'll just. Anyways, let's crack on. This is just bullshit and so stupid and crazy, because citation needed once again, like we always fucking say, right? I mean, like, what part of this means anything, honestly? None of it.
I mean, the Illuminati getting dumber every year.
Exactly. It's
just look
the
at
dumbest.
The American cabinet.
Yeah, and well, too, if you look at any of the part of the right wing right now, and I am gonna fucking say it, I don't care. Like, I hate to say it, but all of the whole government is stupid, because, like, there's not a lot of pushback going on right now to what's going on. Why is he not impeached? Why is not everybody kicked out of the government that he put into place? Like, what are we talking about? Like, how is this still a thing, and why have we not fixed this? Like, what the fuck is going on? It's crazy. But let's crack on.
Original worship on this planet is that of the serpent. That is historical fact. And yet it is within every single religion.
Do they worship it, or do they respect it and they use it as a warning symbol for demons, devils, and other deities that are negative. A lot of times that's what they're used for, is to show that they're protection symbols, just like the One, like I have on my arm right here. And there's other warning symbols I wear on myself that are scary symbols that look like they're demons and devils and scary things, because they are, but they're supposed to ward off the evil by them being placed in certain places and being placed in a certain way and certain colors and other handful of things. So them being these gold dragons and being put in a place right before a certain temple is a certain means a certain thing that these people are using out of context to make it so it seems like, oh my God, scary things, when it's protection.
It is in all the myths of the world, and they all tell the same story. In the
Your
beginning,
mom's
the
vagina's
serpent was the
dry
wise
because
one,
your dad
the
doesn't
only
know how to
animal in
take
the
care of
Bible to
it.
speak freely with his own mind and voice. The tempter, and yet also the holder of ultimate wisdom and the elixir of life. Mankind, in comparison to this remarkable animal, appeared foolish. From that day forward, the serpent would control man. That serpent was quite possibly a reptilian alien holding the technological power to modify and seed humanity and the wisdom of another civilization.
Because that's how that works, right? I mean, if you were thinking that was going to be a thing, then who didn't want a serpent being, slithering inside of? Never mind. Let's crack on. Let's crack on.
The very genetic makeup of mankind would have been altered from this moment. We cannot say exactly when. We cannot pinpoint the so-called Garden of Eden in time. But we can piece together the remarkable story of the serpent aliens who came from the skies. We can uncover the story of what happened next and how it has affected our own reality. It is said that the aliens do walk among us right now. To many.
It's said that. I don't know where he was pulling that out of his arsehole, but yeah, no, exactum only IV. I don't know what they're talking about. And like, where did you pull this out of? Where are they saying
The very
this?
idea that the serpent is hidden within our religions and mythology will seem bizarre. In Christianity and other faiths, it is reviled, and this itself is a folk memory of a fearful and warring past between mankind and the serpent aliens. Nevertheless, the historical truth is that the serpent is there at the root of all major religions. This has been proven again and again, both from scriptures and archaeology.
And a citation needed again, because I don't know what we're talking about.
Over thousands of years and across hundreds of cultures, the history of this ancient invasion by the great shining ones from the heavens altered and became legend and myth. Much of it turned into the great religions of the planet. But hidden in these stories is the real, literal truth of an invasion of planet Earth by beings so strange that we called them serpents. Ancient man left carvings, renderings, and cave paintings with tails.
Is that why we called them that? Or do you not know what's going on and you're just trying to shove something down our throat?
What's the 747?
I feel like that's what's happening there, but let's crack on.
Of their coming across the world. The great guardians.
Wait, who's coming across the world? Okay, never mind. Let's crack on. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Of the Shining Ones, known as the Watchers, mated with human females, and a hybrid bloodline was born.
I need DNA. So all of the companies that have the DNAs of the things that it's been going on, how come all of them have never figure this out? But now you're going to say there's hybrid bloodlines now all of a sudden for no reason. Citation needed again, motherfucker. And fuck it, I want to do this because I've been wanting to do this whole time, but I can't. I was like, I wasn't on it, but I'm gonna fucking do this. This is what I need to say.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Exactly. That's not how this works. That's not any of this.
Very wise.
Fucking works. Okay, so let's crack on.
The It became the bloodline of the rulers of our globe and was protected and kept secret. In truth.
Oh, you mean inbreeding? And by the time that, like, what, 12 generations of inbreeding happened, they look like fucking aliens because they're like, had like 3 fucking fingers on each fucking claw, and they had like a jaw that was protruding so far that they had to like have a prop up with a wheel on it so they can make sure they could fucking get around, or they were stuck in bed and they couldn't do anything, and or what, they had such a horrible blood disease that they had hemophilia, and if any kind of anything happened, they would just bleed blue blood for fucking a year so somebody could put a cork in it or some bullshit. Yeah, that's not aliens. That's called inbreeding, you fucking cunts.
This was the period of the ancient invasion of planet Earth by the shining beings who came from the sky. Our ancestors.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens when you shine a light in somebody's face and you fucking put chloroform over their mouth. They just see a shining being before they're impregnated. I mean, that was the easiest way to fucking do that back in the day. Oh, an alien. It's just like fucking the Virgin Mary. She wasn't a virgin. She literally, like in the Bible or in the scriptures, in the writings, in the Dead Sea Scrolls, supposedly she had 100 children before Jesus, even though I think the translation is more like 10 or 15, like a lot of children. She was her and her husband had a lot of children, to the best of our knowledge. Her vagina literally was a motel or a car wash. It was more like a car wash. You know, you enter, you put something inside of it, and then something goes, and then it squirts out, and then beep, and then next one. I don't know. But anyways, she was not a fucking virgin. In all of these scriptures and all that, the Catholics want to say that, but there was no proof that she was. It was immaculate birth that she had. So what happened was she had already had 20 kids, let's say 10. Let's just say 10, which is it's most likely 10 from the way that it was written. And she fucked the neighbor or fucked somebody else, and she had another, she got pregnant, and her husband said, Hey, we haven't had sex in 6 months. What the fuck's going on? And she's like, you know what? I was waiting until Jesus came, until God came down and told you, but God came down and he impregnated me to give me, it's a very convincing lie, especially if you're in a place, way, shape, or form where they're looking for the next savior. Let's put it that way. Let's crack on.
Worship them for their amazing power. But now, in our modern scientific age, we can now see things more clearly. These were not angels or messengers of light. These were not great Greek deities sat on high and issuing commands. They were not the many-faced Hindu or Egyptian gods. These were beings from another planet or dimension who came here.
Or they were just hallucinations of people and or exaggerations of things that people came up with to say that are gods and or other deities that blah 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 yakety schmackety. There's so many. Go ahead.
Or you're just making all of this shit up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's just ideas that people have come up with. Like what a fable is. But the thing, once again, like I have said over and over again, with the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, religion, and other thingies of the mabobbers, at certain points in time, you're supposed to let people understand, children, you tell them certain stories at a certain age, right? Then when they get to another age, you say, okay, well, this was a joke and we did this and like it was to make this part of your life easier because at the time we didn't know a better way to do it. Then you let them, we were supposed to do that with God as well. You were supposed to tell people at 18 years old, maybe there is a God, but like it's not blah blah. Like you can chill out way more. Like we did that to make sure that you didn't beat up your brothers and sisters, and but here's the more way when you're an adult, then you get to play more or whatever. Even saying there, but you have to like let them know it's okay at some point, and not say it's still very very strict with your religious beliefs, because it's fucking stupid to tell people that are over 21 and 25 that they can't just go and fucking have an orgy and be okay. He's like, God damn it, that's fucking annoying that people think they couldn't go do those things and they feel guilty by doing them. It's stupidly insane. Go do what you want. We only have fucking this many years on this goddamn plane of existence, and it's probably the only one we have. Just go fucking do it all you want. I mean, obviously within the bounds of not hurting other people and being respectful and, like not killing yourselves. There's a small, but why not go and fucking play with other people? Why not go swing if you want to go swing? Why not? Anyways, track on. We're only 9 minutes in.
Here with superior technology. They created
and citation needed. Where's the superior technology?
Mankind as the Egyptian Book of the Dead states. I am the Lord of the Red Crown, which is on the head of the Shining One. He who gives life to mankind from the heat of his mouth. They guided mankind through the process of civilization. They bred with us, and they fought with each other over control of us. Most, we are told.
Who is saying this? Like, again, I don't know what his referencing is of 100%, but let's crack on with the idiocracy.
Left, but the hybrid race remained among us as special people. And now, with every passing day, NASA tell us that they have discovered yet another Earth-like planet that could sustain life. They find ancient rivers and lakes on Mars, and even amino acids and bacteria within the Martian soil.
Okay, well, what does that have to?
Haven't.
But well, yes and no, dog. But
No,
even anyways,
through the lakes and water. Well, they've never found amino acids and fucking bacteria. It's a dead planet.
No, anyways. Hold on. Okay, but fuck it. Who cares? What does that have to do with aliens in our world, with Atlantis being part of the Illuminati? What does this have to do with any of what beep is going on? Like, why are we getting talking? Like, that's why I wanted to go over this, because this shit is so convoluted that I'm like, what is going on anymore? So let's crack on.
Oil. They alter their equations on the existence of alien life on a weekly basis. It seems they are growing more and more aware that soon they will discover something special. The question is, will we awaken the ancient invaders? And will they return if they're not already here?
Wait. So you're saying that if we awaken them, so you're saying they're internal, but then you're saying they're external, and will they? What the? Make up your mind. You're just like fucking Tim Pool, where you're a fence sitter. It's either are they already here and then are they sleeping, or are they going to come back and be involved with us again? Which one is it, dumbass? You fucking asshole.
There are many ancient sightings of aliens and unidentified flying objects throughout history.
Yeah, do you know what ball lightning is, and a handful of other things and other things and other things and blah, 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 yakety schmackety. And oh my God, I'm so sorry, everybody in the side chat. I have not been looking at that, but yeah, I mean, all of this is just redonkulous. That, like, yeah, it's aliens. Totally. once again, they're not pushing us anywhere. They're not saying anything. They're just like, ooh, there's things and stuff, but if I say this and then that, and then like if you're dumb enough, you're gonna go, yeah. It's like if you watch Fox News.
Yeah,
They're like, it's good, but it's bad, but it's good and it's bad, and you're like, yeah. If you're a dumbass,
you really, literally have to be MAGA dumb to believe this shit.
that's what I'm
Fox
saying. It's
crap.
ridiculous.
One of the first is the disputed Thule papyrus account, which describes, quote, fiery discs encountered floating over the skies. But there are even older sightings. The Ubaid period runs from 6,500 to 3,800 BC and is a prehistoric period of Mesopotamia.
So they saw a comet storm, is what they probably saw, right? Something like that. Let's just put it that way.
doubt.
And what?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure that I heard what you said. No, most likely it was something that just was. There could have been a handful of other things that during a certain time of the year or a certain it could have been a rain shower that for some reason the moon was causing it to shine itself. There's so many things that could have happened in the ancient times that we could not completely understand or 100% assume. There could, again, it could be gazillion things. And what's the best thing is it's not aliens. Hey D, welcome.
ID.
And Bigfoot is ginger, totally. So let's crack on.
With all the knowledge we have of the widespread form of serpent worship, we look at this remote historical period for more clues, and we actually don't have to look too far. The Ubaid female serpent mother goddess is an image.
So a lot of times with serpent-esque stuff to what we've come to understand, it's not the worshiping of the serpent per se, but it is the poisonous of them that they are saying that they are protecting themselves against. Once again, it's a protection symbol, not that they're worshiping it per se. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but you can't just jump the gun and just assume that it is the worshiping of that deity. And it may just be some other weird tale thing that we don't understand, we don't know. So there's a lot of things. It could be the horn of anything. Just because we see one, because they're showing a profile, doesn't mean that there's not three of them, which if you look at this one up front, there's three horns on each side, which could mean a shit ton of other things, you twat whistle.
Image of precisely what we have been discussing. She is the giver of life and an early form of Mary the Mother.
Oh, why are we not zooming in on the one that has the three horns on each side? Because each one of them looks exactly almost the same, except for that she does have these weird things and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, sorry.
Mother of God. She is a reptilian serpent being. She is from the very origins of civilization.
Or is it a horn, just like what's represented over here?
Is this a symbol of the origin of mankind? Did reptilian aliens genetically create man? In fact, the ancient Sumerian myths of Enuma Elish, inscribed on cuneiform tablets that reside in the library of Ashurbanipal, says humankind was created to serve gods called the Anunnaki.
And there's nothing that actually says, but okay, let's crack on with the crack, because we've already gone over this over and over again.
Anunnaki were aliens who came to Earth to mine gold for their own uses. According to the Anunnaki,
or they're a foreign culture that came from another place onto these people's lands, and they brought new types of things. They looked very different. They painted their faces, they shaved their head, they wore headdresses, handful of other things. They made things out of things that were not made, or they brought things made out of things from the lands they were from that they could not make in other places. Which, what would happen to you if you were a small civilization, even let's say 100,000 people in a land, in a culture that had came across the water on vessels you've never seen before, and they came dressed in very, very different attire. They were different color than you. You know, they had more melatonin and lenin. I said that wrong on purpose, right? And then also had different ways of acting. They brought you things that were made out of different things, and blah blah yakety smackety. What would you assume, or what could you easily assume? They're from another world. They're from outer space. They're from another place. And or could you mistranslate their hieroglyphs, their writings in the future? Totally, just like we have done with the Bible over and over again, translating it into different languages. So again, it's just mistranslation. It's nothing. It's not actually saying motherfuckers are from another world. It's saying they're from another place that they don't know where it's from. And you can mistranslate it to say they're from the sky. But mostly the translations for some of these, and that we can read and that I've gone over, it says they came from another water land, another water planet, another water place, somewhere from a boat somewhere else.
Numa Elish story, the Anunnaki realized mining gold was taking a toll on their race, and then created the human race as slaves.
And then why didn't the human race completely not be made into slaves to mine gold? I mean, no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, literally, think about it for fucking. If obviously all of us here, we're already like, that's the dumbest shit in the world, obviously, and we've thought about it. We've already talked about it. But anybody who's not thought about it for more than 5 milliseconds, who thinks that is a thing, or that believes in this bullshit, think about it for fucking 30 more seconds. I'll give you 10 seconds. I don't know, I don't need to.
But
literally,
that's
that's the stupidest thing in the world to think of. That's why the reptilian culture, the reptilian species, the reptilians came down here to mine gold, which is the stupidest thing in the world to mine. The gold you can do nothing with. There's nothing you can do with gold, honestly, other than barely put it into something. And if you take gold and you like throw it against the ground, it literally will just like break. It's one of the stupidest things in the world to fucking have. Platinum is, if they were to say that the lizard people came down here to mine platinum and a couple other actual rare mineral resources that we use for making technology, batteries, and other things, I would be like, cool, I get it. Gold is the dumbest fucking thing for this to happen.
Let's also take a look at the Elohim for a moment to find out who these gods were that enslaved men and were in charge of the Watchers. The term Elohim, used often in the Old Testament and other texts outside as in the Muslim Allah for the Lord. This is an incorrect usage, as the term is plural and means...
Oh, guess who we have to join us now?
Hey, Pastor.
Welcome, Pep. Welcome, Pastor. And here we blow with this. And you're welcome for watching this.
Shining Ones. We can see this plurality in the text from Genesis 1:26.
Elohim,
and God said, let us make man in our image, after
We'll see how long it lasts.
our likeness, And again in Genesis 6:2, the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. This term, sons of God, is literally sons of gods, and comes from Ben Ha-Elohim, sons of the Shining Ones.
Dun dun dun.
He's just making it up as he fucking goes along.
No, this is complete bullshit.
Baal, the deity often spoken as the Lord in the Bible, is also seen as a shining one in the Old Testament, and is called,
I mean, usually my balls are the one that I call as the god that's inside my pants. Woohoo! Alright, okay, I'm sorry. Let's just keep going.
the owner. At that time, there were many owners, or shining ones. In fact, there was one for each village.
Hey, you say there's a lot of shining ones? Jesus Christ, that sounds like in my Pokemon Go, and I'm... Never mind, I'll stop right there.
These are the governors of the first men, shining reptilian alien beings with vast knowledge, whose existence has been passed down to us in religious texts, fables, folklore, and myths.
Once again, citation needed, motherfucker. Like, yeah, obviously people write things about things that are fantasical, you know what I'm saying? Like the foxes and or animals that are like in hybrid human form to tell a story. Winnie the Pooh and a handful of other things, right? Then you have, well, that's what fables and folklore are, and myths. And religious texts just fall into that because it's fucking fake as well. But yeah, it's all the same. Hello, stupid. Okay, well, there. Okay, all right.
According to General Albert Pike,
I love how I didn't put you down when you first came in here, but then you just. But anyways, just crack on.
the most famous Masonic historian, in Morals and Dogma, the Elohim were the host of heaven, ascending and descending to pass messages to and from God or the leader Yahweh. These beings came down to us from the heavens and back again. If this doesn't imply evidence of ancient aliens, then what does?
You still didn't say like anything. This has pretty much been word salad pretty much the whole time. You fucking.
Interestingly, some of the shining ones were termed watchers and are akin to the angels of the Lord.
Because now you're just being very vague about like the watchers, the shining ones, your mom's vagina. I mean, it's very vague because I mean your mom's vagina and all of these references are so wide and huge that it's hard for me to not fall inside of them with how fucking vague you're being. And I'm obviously talking about the fake person that's making this, which is an AI fucking voice. But let's crack on.
Lord. Yahweh Elohim means simply leader of the shining ones. The Egyptian Book of the Dead calls these watchers Anubis and Horus, who came from a faraway place. The Hebrews termed these watchers as those who watch. In Greek, this is translated as giantess or giants, a race that even the writer Hesiod featured as being monstrous due to their serpent.
I don't believe that's the right translation. I think it means more like a demigod or somebody bigger than just being a natural being or something like that. I think that's, or being more, anyways, I don't think that's the proper translation, but fuck it, of course, obviously this is not right. And we're just gonna go a little bit further, and then like I'm exhausted as crap, and I'm gonna have to work all weekend long and a couple weekends. This is going to be where I am going to be doing more touring. In June, I will be going around, and then in June I will be teaching children. Well, we'll see. It most likely it's going to be how to, I think I said yesterday, how to it may be early, yesterday, but the day before, anyways, how to set up and run and have fun with carnival games. And when we do these events, people come in and they realize that the carnival games and certain other things are kind of rigged. Like, you should know that about a casino, but we do let people know this is like for fun and like, yeah. And if like a kid, parents or somebody or the kid tries to get a certain prize and they don't get it, we usually just give them it because we're not an actual carnival. We're a circus thing, and we were here to make everybody happy. I will be teaching kids how to set up and do certain carnival games, and then also do magic tricks. So there'll be a hot minute that I might be away, and if I can do streams, I will totally do that, in which I will try my hardest. But I will be going on tour and other things in the near future. So everybody, thank you very much. We're gonna get out of here because it's been a long couple of weeks for me. And I would like to just chill and hang out. So thank you all very much for being here. Tomorrow I will be driving down to Pueblo and getting myself situated down there for the show this weekend, which is the Steampunk Oddities convention, which is going to be a lot of fun. So thank you everybody for being here. Please, if you made it this far, make sure you're subscribed, hit the join and the bell notification if you can to join. It's only $1.99 a month, so that you can play nicely with us and you get the fun emojis that I have created myself. So everybody say bye, because we get the fuck out of here. Bye.
Bye.